Hello and welcome to your EFL highlights, full of a warm and fuzzy festive feeling. There's plenty of Christmas cheer, time for bumping into old friends, cards of course, but not necessarily from who you want, and gifts galore, sometimes when you least expect them. We are at Sunderland, and despite there being just 2 sleeps until Christmas, all last-minute shopping's been put to one side after the appointment of their 4th manager in just over 3 years. Michael Beale called it a gigantic club, and today begins the job of meeting big expectations, with the Black Cats sitting just 3 points outside the playoff places. Victory today could be the first step in winning over any doubters. Out to burst Beale's bubble at Coventry City, with just 1 defeat in their last 7 matches for Mark Robins' side. The Sky Blues could be preparing for another playoff adventure themselves. So it's a final home game of the year for Sunderland and a last away trip of 2023 for Coventry. Will the Beale era begin with a heart warmer, or will Robins' men cause the nightmare before Christmas? Let's find out in the company of your commentator, Dan Windle.
A feeling of uncertainty in the north-east air. Some fans may be underwhelmed. Mick Beale has insisted this week he's hungry to prove to Sunderland fans that his appointment is the right one. Beale makes one change for his first starting lineup at the Black Cats. Joe Bellingham returns to the starting 11 in place of Alex Pritchard, who misses out with an illness. Coventry, meanwhile, make 3 changes following their draw against Leeds last weekend. Jamie Allen, Haji Wright and Callum O'Hare all return for the visitors. VIP, Jude Bellingham in the house. His 18-year-old brother, Job, hoping to put on a show. Expectant support, not something new to Beale after his recent time in Glasgow managing Rangers, a club obsessed with progression, according to sporting director Christian Speakman. Can Beale deliver on Wearside? Now an opportunity for Jack Clark. On the edge of the box, shoots goalwards. It will drop to Bar. Abdoullah Bar. Gift wrapped for the Frenchman, but somehow he smashes it over. No other way to describe it. A sitter for the Sunderland man. A glorious opening for the hosts. I think Jude, well, he'd probably have hit the target. Ellis Sims in behind the Sunderland back line. Had a fruitful loan spell with the club at the Stadium of Light last season. Working hard up against the dead ball line, wins a corner for his side. Just 2 league away wins so far this season for Coventry. Big boys up from the back, aimed towards Haji Wright. Good save, Patterson. Scoops it away only as far as O'Hare, who rifles it goalwards as well. A top double save from the 23-year-old Anthony Patterson. Haji Wright guiding it goalwards, pushed away by Patterson. I'm not sure how much he knew about the second effort from O'Hare, but the Sunderland shot stopper keeps them both out. Winless in 7 league games against Coventry Sunderland, a run going back to 2007. Is that a foul? Matt Donoghue, the referee, plays the advantage. It's a good one here for Callum O'Hare, who breaks into the penalty area. Sakamoto at the far post somehow goes in. A festive bundle for Tatsu Sakamoto on the stroke of half-time for the Sky Blues. Haji Wright pulled to the deck. O'Hare afforded the opportunity to carry on, picking out Sakamoto at the far post. A real fortunate deflection off the wide man. Coventry lead on the road, and all of a sudden a very different team talk at half-time for Mick Beale. Form at home for Sunderland of late, very good. How will they respond second half? Here goes Clark into the box, shoots goalwards, poured away by Collins. Jack Clark, so often the most likely. 10 goals this campaign, a penetrating run. Clawed away by Brad Collins. Head down, here goes Patrick Roberts, driving over halfway, still going Roberts. This is wonderful, wizardry from Roberts into the box, goes down under the challenge of Bobby Thomas. The referee, Matt Donoghue, waves away the protests. This was excellent from Roberts. Could not be stopped. Was he clipped? Was he caught by Thomas in the box? Was there contact? But did he get the ball? Sunderland chasing an equaliser. Here goes the visitors. Callum O'Hare, such a threat, such a menace into the path of right. Back with O'Hare. O'Hare's in here to make it 2 for the Sky Blues. Back fit after such a significant time away injured. Callum O'Hare is firing once more for Coventry. His 3rd goal since his return. Curled delicately into the top corner. And Mick Bill Sunderland are now left with a mountain to climb at the Stadium of Light. Coventry have won just one of their last 15 league trips to the Stadium of Light ahead of today. They're going for 3 here. Where will it drop? It's Casey Palmer. They've got another. Off the bench and onto the score sheet, Casey Palmer. Beale's hosts breached once more. And this is an awful goal to concede for Anthony Patterson. Gifted to Palmer. Not the sort of present you want to give away at this time of year. Some Sunderland fans have had enough. Chants of Tony Mowbray's name have been heard from the stands this afternoon. This is not the start that Mick Beale would have wanted. Fans to get on side. The hard work begins now for Beale, because first up, his Sunderland side have been humbled. Full time, Sunderland 0, Coventry City 3.
So a very good afternoon for Coventry here at the Stadium of Light. I'm delighted to say the victorious manager Mark Robins joins me now. A very good few games, and you backed it up today. A couple of draws with Southampton and Leeds. You got the victory against Sunderland. What did you make of the afternoon?
Really pleased with the result. Some really good goals scored. We defended really well when we needed to. They've got a way of playing that they try and run through the back line. You know, they move the ball quickly. They've got some brilliant footballers here. And the fact that we managed to keep them at bay and get a 0 the other end is testament to the players and the work that they put in.
It's hugely disappointing results. I have to apologise to the fans that, you know, come out today, wasn't expecting that. We're playing against a team that got to the playoff final last year, but we also got to the playoffs as well, and we've been in a good place of late. The last 2 results today and the one at Bristol are not what we want. All day I felt that we got into good areas, but we were nowhere near as ruthless as Coventry, and I thought on a day when you're not right in the final third, you can't be as open as us defensively.
I wanted to ask you about Callum O'Hare. 9 months out with that ruptured ACL. The process to getting him back to where he is now, both mentally and physically, what has that been like?
He has been incredible. He's been incredible. And he's an infectious character anyway, but to take football away from somebody that loves it so much was really difficult to watch. He's been incredible, really. Backed by everybody. Everybody loves him. Support really back him to the hill. And he's come back and he's been in really, really good form. But not only that, he's starting to add goals. He's starting to be calmer in the penalty area. So we're really pleased with him and really pleased for him.
It's the worst thing in the world, I'm not going to lie. It's the worst feeling. It's hard, it's tough. There's lonely times, but every day, you know, I was in bed thinking, when I'm back, I need to be better, I need to score, I need to do more. And the way I've come back and I've started and I'm scoring, getting assists and the team's winning, like, I'm so happy. Like,
the fans should never lower their expectations, because there's a reason for it, and that's the history of the club, and that's why the players sign. That's why the staff want to be here as well. So that's what actually drives you, that expectation, and that's what you want. So the fans are showing their frustrations on a day where the team got beat 3-0 at home. Doesn't matter what stadium you're in the world, that's going to be the same.
What has the last few weeks been like for this group of players, with Tony Mowbray's departure, Mike Dodd's time in charge, and the announcement of Michael Beale's arrival?
I don't think we're very far off of being a very, very good team, and not a lot's changed. And we said that when the gaffer came in, we don't need to change a lot. Again, we've only had 3-4 days together, and I'm telling you now, the information's very, very good, and it's up to us just get together, learn more, learn fast, and we're going to be a very, very good team.
Me and my big mouth, I've said to him, win today and they'll get some time off, so they're getting some time off.
For me, it's just all about the next game and winning every game. Like me, I try to win every game, taking it a game at a time, and hopefully at the end of the season we're there or thereabouts, hopefully.
And the dreams of the Premier League?
The dreams of Premier League, always. Just got to get there. So the results every weekend helps, and hopefully we can get there, yeah.
More big managerial news this week, with Steven Schumacher leaving Plymouth Argyle for Stoke City. He drops down the table to join the Potters, just 3 points above the relegation zone and just 1 point ahead of today's opponents, Millwall.
Stoke overall now winless since the 28th of October, a 2-0 victory up at the Riverside against Middlesbrough. Mai urged to shoot and does. The first shot on target for either side. Well, Mai's effort certainly had plenty of power, just didn't really have the direction. Chamadou, Laurent goes for it again. The atmosphere just starting to rise around the Bet365. Chamadou has injected pace into this team. Set up awkwardly there for Laurent, who scooped it towards goal in the end. Well, the last Plymouth head coach to come up here to Stoke was Tony Pulis when he returned for a second spell in 2006 and got the Potters promoted within 2 years. Berger, Mai, Chamadou, is it going to fall? Ryan Mai, still! Great block by Harding. Mai looking down the whole time, just couldn't get the shot off. It just will not go in. McNally let that one bounce, and Emaku is onto it, and Millwall are in here! What a save by Bonham! That could have been an extraordinary ending, and it might be yet. Here's one more. Still one more, headed away by Gooch, and that is time. The referee puts everyone out of their misery, and Millwall wondering what might have been their only shot in the entire game, coming in the final seconds, and it was the substitute there, Aidomo Emaku, who suddenly found himself through on goal and really should have taken the points for Millwall. McNally with the mistake, and Emaku just couldn't lift it over the advancing Bonham. Millwall wondering what might have been. Full time here at the Bet365 as Stoke's winless run now stretches to 9 games. It has finished Stoke City 0, Millwall 0.
I thought the atmosphere at times was really good. We had a spell in the second half where we were well on top and we had some good momentum and the noise was outstanding, so we want that to continue for as long as possible. So enjoyable afternoon. It's a point. It's obviously a point in the right direction for us, but I felt the way we played, it probably could have been 3.
Plymouth Argyle began the post-Steven Schumacher era with technical director Neil Dewsnip taking charge. In the opposite dugout today, a precocious talent he coached once upon a time in the Everton Academy, Birmingham boss Wayne Rooney.
Neil Dewsnip has known Wayne Rooney since he was 9 years old, thanks to his time at the Everton Academy. But the former student quickly took charge of this match. Just 15 minutes gone when Jay Stansfield headed in for the Blues. In scenes reminiscent of his gaffer, he revealed a T-shirt saying "Always a Red" during this celebration, a reference to his and his late father's ties to Plymouth rivals Exeter City. That had the home fans rattled, and their mood was about to get even worse. 6 minutes before the break and Birmingham doubled their lead. Juninho Bacuna wouldn't give up a lost cause. Jordan James completely unmarked to smash in number 2, and the wheels were coming off as the Pilgrims tried to adapt to life after Schumacher. Birmingham are still trying to find consistency under their manager, Rooney, with just 2 clean sheets so far. Defensive lapses continue to haunt his side. Dion Sanderson slipped, fully punished by Plymouth captain Joe Edwards. Coming 2 minutes before the break, that changed the complexion of the 2 team talks that would be given in the changing rooms. Rooney's message, perhaps, to try and keep things tight in the second half and not do anything silly. The former England striker, of course, has some notable red cards on his CV. 3 minutes in, he had a front row seat for this challenge from Christian Bielik. The absence of any reaction from the dugout suggested he knew just what was coming. Straight red, Blues a goal up, but a man down with almost a full half of football left to play. Despite the numerical disadvantage, it was the visiting fans who were celebrating once again. Just after the hour mark, Stansfield turned provider, picking out Bacuna to restore the 2-goal lead. He managed just 2 championship goals last season. That was his 4th of this campaign. The home park faithful are getting value for money on the pitch at the moment. Last week they nicked all 3 points against 10 men at the death against Rotherham, and perhaps there was a sense of deja vu when they pulled one back 6 minutes later. Ben Waine had been given a start by the interim gaffer. The 22-year-old Kiwi repaid the faith with a poacher's goal. Sanderson may well have been disappointed with his defending once again. That set up a grandstand finish as wave after wave of green attacks were collectively sucked towards the home fans. 4 minutes from time, the pressure told. Morgan Whittaker into double figures for the season. 3-3, the final score. Dewsnip, the far happier of the 2 managers with the point. Rooney's side continue to leak goals. Next up, another reunion against his old Everton Academy teammate Steven Schumacher and his new Stoke side.
We focus on the top of the championship when we come back, including a huge game between third-place Leeds United and Ipswich Town in second. A lot at stake in the lunchtime kickoff at Ellen Road. Ipswich currently second, continuing to astound in the automatic promotion places. Leeds United were a whopping 10 points behind them, but desperate to close that gap.
This is Somerville running at Clark. Support on the outside from Spence. First corner of the match goes to Leeds. Good offer there from Jed Spence. Oh, the header! Brilliant save, but in! Pascal Struijk strikes first for Leeds after Peru's header was brilliantly stopped by Gladkey. Gladkey makes a good save here from Peru, but he couldn't get it out of harm's way, and the harm in the shape of the Leeds captain Pascal Struijk, who couldn't miss from there. James. Rutte. Now this could work if the pass is on for Peru. He wants it quick. Somerville holds on. Drives deep into that Ipswich box. It's an own goal. The former Leeds United man, Leif Davis. But it was that quick turnover from Leeds that caused problems for Ipswich. James did so well to retain possession there. Good hold of play from Rutte. And then they were a bit empty, weren't they, in midfield, Ipswich. Peru wanted the pass through the middle. Somerville held on, drove deep into the Ipswich penalty area. And then Davis is sticking out a right leg and not doing a great deal with it other than favouring his former club Leeds. Nice touch from Hurst. This is Davis. Chaplin. Hit it well! So unlucky. Connor Chaplin. Ilan Meslier in the Leeds goal was beaten here. Crisp half volley. It kisses the outside of the post on its way behind. Burgess is forward for this. Aimed in his direction and he won the header. Nobody attacking it, much to Cameron Burgess's frustration. Good work there by Rutte. Taken on by James. Somerville, down he goes. Penalty, says referee Stephen Martin. Leif Davis is saying how, why. And again, it's the pace of Leeds. Across comes Davis. And there's no doubt about it. It's a collision of thighs there. And Somerville was always going to go down. Crescencio Somerville against Václav Hladký. Leeds doing a number on Ipswich at Ellen Road. The smiles are wide on and off the pitch. Very unhappy return to Ellen Road for Leif Davis, conceding the penalty after his earlier own goal. And Somerville very calm and composed. Could have had two keepers in there and they wouldn't have saved that. Burgess. Tass woefully underhit there by Cameron Burgess. This is Archie Gray. Pirou allowed that to slip under his foot, but won back by Rutter. Somerville is free. Clark with the interception. Pirou! 4-0 Leeds. Buried by Joel Pirou. Ipswich with the opportunity to clear their lines and pay the ultimate penalty for failing to do so. All stemmed from the underhit pass from Burgess. How quickly they step onto the opposition. But Tuanzebe has a chance to clear. Clark then has a chance to clear. Neither do so. And once Pirou gets it under his spell, there was only one outcome. And Leeds sending out a clear message. We're hunting you down, Ipswich. The gap surely is going to be narrowed to 7 points. One word sums up Leeds United's performance today under Daniel Farke. Majestic. Final score on a day that we won't forget for some time to come. It's been Leeds United Day and then some. They beat Ipswich by 4-0.
Especially happy with the clean sheet. This is important for me, and also like the maturity that we showed today. Also the unity on the pitch. Also the players that came in were quite impressive. I liked it, but I'm not over the moon, so not carried away. Then in this league the momentum can change pretty quick, and we have a tough opponent just in 3 days. We have to be prepared and ready again.
Today didn't go our way. We know they're a really strong team, but the season's 46 games, and we'll try and be as consistent, from a mental point of view especially, but consistent in our beliefs right the way through the 46 games, and we'll see where we are.
So, Ipswich missed the opportunity to join leaders Leicester on 55 points. It meant a chance for the Foxes to extend their lead at the top of the Championship in their 3 p.m. kickoff against the bottom club, Rotherham.
Vars forced to go out wide. It's two banks of red and white shirts Leicester have found themselves up against. Here's Kiernan Dewsbury Hall trying to get the cut back in. It's going to come back to him. Forcing a dangling ball in, and Patson Daka was there. It had to be turned behind. It will be a corner for Leicester City. Could have been a whole lot more. At first you don't succeed. Dangled that ball right to the back post. Rotherham, oh, had to slip. Oh no, it's been gifted away, and this is a massive chance for the Foxes, and off the line by Morrison. A mighty stop by the captain. And goodness me, it was needed, because Sebastian Revan gifting the ball away to Fatawu. Here's Yannick Vestergaard. Still hunting this way through. Vars is going to let it go. Back to Vars. Gets the shot in. Only half saved. Oh, it's a scramble, but it's turned home by Patson Daka. Repays his manager's faith in him. Patson Daka giving the Foxes the lead. They want to be top of the tree at Christmas. That much is for sure. But it's the extravagance with which they are tearing up the Championship this season. That has been the headline. And Patson Daka makes it 1-0 to Leicester. Have to be careful here, Rotherham, that this one doesn't get away from them. Oh, that's a loose ball, and Daka's herring down. He's looking for a second, and he was caught by Johansson. And the referee's got thinking to do here. It's going to be a penalty, and a yellow card is out of the pocket of Darren Bond. Maybe the fact that it's inside the penalty area saves Victor Johansson from a worse fate. But he does have a penalty to save. Daka, and scores. And I think that the goalkeeper might have got a hand to it, but such was the power, it careers into the back of the net. And this could already be beyond Rotherham. It's Farce. Ricardo Pereira over the head of Daka. Cesare Cazadei. It is 3. He's only been on the pitch 2 minutes, but the Italian has brought 3 up for Leicester. It's Leicester 3, Rotherham 0.
Once again, we needed to be patient. At the end, we found a goal that in this kind of game is the most important thing and the most difficult thing. But even first half, I think we were good. It's this kind of a game that you need patience. I just said every weekend is full of this game where the opposite they drop and you struggle to find space, to find solution, goal. But at the end, you need to continue.
A lot still to come from the Championship when we return, including Sheffield Wednesday on a roll and looking for back-to-back wins. To Loftus Road, with QPR looking to bounce back from defeat and up against Southampton still marching on after 14 matches unbeaten in the league.
This was Marti versus Martin. Ilias Chair looking to make it a Feliz Navidad for Senor Cifuentes with a long-range stunner. So close to being a star for QPR. Away at the Rangers, sounds like a carol. And OK all ye Saints faithful, hoping to go 3 months unbeaten. A superb headed assist from Adam Armstrong, finding Taylor Harwood-Bellis. Russell's revellers joyous once again. Southampton on their best unbeaten league run in 39 years. The Ars revival has stuttered slightly. Their boss says he's an optimist, but doesn't have a magic recipe. He had hope of a late leveller as away sub Shay Charles impeded Albert Adoma. A second yellow followed. Despite his premature departure, the South Coast club held on to step into Christmas in fine form.
The Riverside promised to be rocking for this one after Borough reached their first domestic cup semi-final in 20 years in midweek. But West Brom were determined to silence the party atmosphere. Kyle Bartley, up from the back, almost headed them into a first-half lead. His effort off the woodwork. When the ball came back in, it was Darnell Furlong who made contact. Good reactions by Borough keeper Tom Glover on his first league start for the club. Michael Carrick's side had won 2 on the bounce, following 3 straight defeats. And the cup victory in midweek meant confidence was high. And that was on display when they broke the deadlock 5 minutes before half-time. Lucas Engel found space down the flank and picked out Morgan Rogers, who scored against the club where he started his career. Borough never looked like throwing this one away. In fact, they had the best chance of the second half. Rogers looking to turn provider. Only Sam Greenwood will know how he didn't hit the target. One was enough for Michael Carrick's side, who made it 3 wins in a row.
Starting the day within touching distance of the Championship's playoff spots, Blackburn were looking to complete their first league double over the Hornets in over 50 years. It was the hosts who flashed out of the traps. Adam Wharton delivered from the acute angle, sweeping an excellent drive into the top corner. The Rovers midfielder with his first goal since the final day of last season. Just after the hour mark, Blackburn had the chance to double their lead. Adam Wharton was first denied by Ben Hamer before Hayden Carter then dragged a strike agonisingly wide. Watford have been improving, building though, and certainly finding their killer instinct on the road. They scored 5 at Preston last time out. This time Valerian Ismail had to go to his bench, providing a focal point. Melita Rajovic was on hand to tap home the rebound after Leopold Voldstedt's save fell to the forward. The comeback was complete when again Blackburn were unable to successfully clear lines, and another one of Ishmael's subs had an enormous effect. Rhys Healey couldn't miss a forward developing a habit of scoring late important goals. Watford managed to string 3 consecutive away league wins together for the first time in over 6 years. The most wonderful time of the year indeed.
I think the first half we were too complacent. That's why I was really loud in the halftime, because I said to the guy, we put so many efforts so far, and now if we think that just with 80% we can win a game in the championship, then it will be difficult. So then we came out with another mentality, we had a big desire to do it better, and the bench made the impact.
To Hillsborough shortly, but Carrow Road before that, with Norwich City up to 10th after 4 matches without defeat. They faced Huddersfield Town, 4 matches without a win.
Given the contrasting form of these two in recent weeks, it was little surprise to see Norwich put Huddersfield on the back foot in the early stages. Converting the dominance into goals was another matter, though. Ashley Barnes' effort somehow kept out by Chris Maxwell. There wasn't too much wrong with the header, it was some save by the Huddersfield keeper. But after the first half frustration, swift relief in the second half after an inspired substitution by Canaries manager David Wagner against his former club. 2 minutes after the restart, half-time replacement Sam McCallum popped up to score his first goal for Norwich. The cross from Nunez, the placement of the header too good for Maxwell this time. Norwich pushed for a second, another well-guided McCallum header created the chance for Barnes, but still no joy for him. At 1-0, Huddersfield were still in it, the Canaries in need of that second goal cushion. They finally got it on 73 minutes. Adam Ida's pass found its way all the way across to Borja Sainz. He still had plenty to do before firing his second goal in 3 games. 2-0, that wrapped up the points for Norwich, who are now unbeaten in 5 and are closing in on the playoff places. It's the same number without a win for Huddersfield.
Sheffield Wednesday hunting 3 home wins in a row. Resurgent under Danny Rule was the German masterminding a great escape in the Steel City. Well, given them reasons to believe, Wednesday's top scorer Anthony Masaba netted another after producing dancing feet and a firm finish. This the forward's 3rd goal in his last 4 games. Playing with renewed confidence, the home side pressed on for a second after half-time and came close when Marvin Johnson's low shot was tipped wide by Jack Anick. Cardiff boss Errol Balut held a meeting with his squad this week, keen on addressing their recent form as the Bluebirds limp towards the new year. Against the run of play in South Yorkshire, a flash of vigour from Carlan Grant. His excellent low finish, the striker's 3rd of the campaign. This one, a sickener for Sheffield Wednesday, who now could get a winner on a red-hot run for the relegation fighters. Bailey Cadamartri burst clear with a chance to win it for the hosts at Hillsborough. Again, Anick was up to the task of stopping him. In a game Cardiff looked unlikely to get anything in, they would find a winner after build-up play on the edge of the box. Ollie Tanner's shot was spilled only as far as Kian Atete, who wheeled away claiming credit. The last touch certainly ricocheted off the Wednesday defender Akim Famewo. Looks like Christmas won't be cancelled then in South Wales as Cardiff secure their 2nd championship win in 6.
I'm happy, first of all, with the result, and second, that we show today a team spirit, that we show again that we are a team, because start of the week we had a meeting with the team, 45 minutes, and we say to each other we have to change something. We cannot continue anymore like that, so that we're losing points, so we have to make a new start, and I think today was a good start.
2 championship matches played last night when we returned, and then into League One, featuring Peterborough up into the automatic places after 5 games unbeaten and heading to Shrewsbury. There were 2 championship games played on Friday night, with 2 sides looking for a positive run as Swansea took on Preston. But first, Hull looked to consolidate a top 6 spot as they went to Bristol City.
Sachs was trying to find a route through. That ball will come in the end. Oh, shouts for handball here. He's given it. Ben Toner points to the spot. It's Greaves who's aggrieved. He will say the arm was out the body. Here comes the cross. Greaves, well, he's made a play for it, hasn't he? You've seen those given time and time again. For Conway from the spot. Here he comes. 6th of the season for him. And crucially the lead for Bristol City. And here's the turnaround in form, set to take off at Ashton Gate. Planted coolly into the corner. And what now for Hull City? There's Connolly. Got a bit to do from here, hasn't he? Finds his avenue towards goal blocked. Might be a second bite of the cherry. Oh, he's found a shot and he's found the net! Aaron Connolly. It didn't look like he had room, but the Irishman has engineered the opportunity for himself. And in fairness to the goalkeeper, maybe he saw it late. Twine's free kick. Angled in dangerously. Oh, penalty! One at the other end. It's been a busy first half for the referee. And it looks like Cameron Pring was the man involved, sending Greaves to the floor. Redemption for him, maybe. It's Ozan Tufan. And they've turned it around. Down the middle will do. Max O'Leary beats it. Plenty of pressure being applied by the home side. They've stepped up well, having fallen behind. Looking for a route through Memeti, and he's found it! Draws Bristol City level. Maybe the goalkeeper saw it through a crowd. Also, couldn't get a strong purchase on it, and it squeezes through. Red shirts coming forward. They've got men over as well. It's going to be the long shot, and that could have gone anywhere. And it's fist behind in the end by Coyle. And Allsop, I think, has hurt himself. Well, thankfully, Hull City have got changes remaining. So Matt Ingram is going to make his first appearance since being dropped in September. Ingram. Oh, he's giving it away. Is this the chance for the home side? Could have been made to pay, Hull City. Teething problems with the change of goalkeeper. And they may have to continue here. More defending needed. Oh, it's gone in. Jason Knight, he got an awkward flick. But that won't matter one jot to him. Bristol City have turned this one around again. And it's hard on Ingram, his first proper involvement is to fish the ball out the back of his net.
Back out to Key. Good footwork to skip around the challenge. Cross is headed away. It's picked up by Grimes, and it's a lovely ball over the top. Taken first time. A beautiful goal for Swansea City. Right on the hour, Jamie Patterson. Timon plays the ball down the line. Evans manages to cross from the byline. Keeper came and thought about it. Picked up by Miller. No one closes him down, and he curls it in for the equaliser. Off the bench and off the mark for Preston. It's the Canadian international with the goal. And they were behind for just 7 minutes. Wayward pass, and it's played back through, and it's in for Patterson, who's won it for Swansea. 5 minutes into stoppage time, and a player who every time he's scored this season has failed to be on the winning side is surely a player to provide the match winner now.
Leicester have opened up a 6-point lead at the top of the tree. Leeds cut the gap between themselves and Ipswich to 7 points. Southampton stay level with Daniel Farke's men after a 15-match unbeaten run. There was little change at the foot of the table, with the bottom four all beaten. The four clubs directly above them all drew, whilst wins for Swansea and Coventry see them move clear of the drop. To League One now, starting with leaders Portsmouth on a 4-match winning run without conceding. They took on Fleetwood Town, whose form was the complete opposite. 4 defeats in a row without scoring.
The Pompey Chimes are League One's Christmas #1. At this rate, it could be Portsmouth's last Christmas in this division for a while. A perfect EFL December up to this point. Abu Kamara's effort was handled by Brandon Sarpong Wiradou. Colby Bishop loves a moment like this. 12 in the league this season now, his last 3 all penalties. Was an unlikely leveller, too much to ask for from the Cod Army. Well, no, it wasn't. Josh Earl said, "That's my goal." Fleetwood's first in 7 games in all comps. Their players and fans in surprise celebratory voice.
Shrewsbury took a comprehensive beating off League One leaders Portsmouth last week, so how would they fare against second-placed Peterborough? Shortly before the hour, they found themselves in front. Did Jordan Shipley intend it? They all count the same. But the lead lasted just 6 minutes. Hector Ciprianu with the through ball. Ricky J. Jones got just enough on it to guide it home for 1-1, his third in his last 4 league matches. And having created the equaliser, Ciprianu then got Peterborough's winner. David Ajiboye drove at the defence. The finish wasn't the prettiest, but this one was worth a crucial 3 points as they closed the gap at the top.
Northampton looking for a 5th win in 7 and very much on the front foot in the second period's fledgling stages as Sam Hoskins picked out Kieran Bowie, who struck an upright. Opposition penned back by a determined home side, and Pinnock and Bowie soon came up with a festive hit. Mitch for Kieran, 2 in 2 for him. In form, his team in front. Des Buckingham's Oxford began proceedings a point off the top 2. The U's won here in the EFL Trophy in September and were given a chance to level by a Patrick Brough foul on Stan Mills. All of Cameron Brannigan's goals this term have come from the penalty spot. More 12-yard success, but his team have been struggling on the travels of late. And deep inside stoppage time, Tyrese Simpson made himself a hero for the Cobblers, opening his EFL account for the campaign in match-clinching fashion.
Playoff chasing Stevenage had won their last 3 on the road, and they got off to a flyer away at Barnsley. It owed much to Jamie Reid, whose shot was parried by Liam Roberts. Luther Wildin was on hand to bundle home his 2nd of the season. A wake-up call for Barnsley, who had an unbeaten record of 4 league matches to protect. John McAtee has been a key figure in their recent good run. His 5th in his last 6 League and Cup appearances brought them level just after the hour. 2 minutes into first-half stoppage time, Stevenage's Kane Hemmings had the ball in the net against his former club, only to see his celebrations cut short by an offside flag. Instead, it was Barnsley who went 2-1 in front. Herbie Kane allowed the space to run at the defence. His effort took a wicked deflection, but it counts as his goal. It proved to be the winner too, and his 100th appearance for the club.
Leyton Orient hadn't won at Bolton since 1970, and they suffered an early setback. Josh Dacus-Cogley on target for the home side. Bouncing back from back-to-back defeats, beware the wounded Wanderers. Out to double their advantage thanks to a familiar scorer. Goal King Charles at it again. Dion the Destroyer's 12th in the league this season. Yet more owes woes. Talk about racing out of the blocks from the hosts. George Thomason staking his claim to be a tremendous trotter, 10 minutes in and 3 goals up. Promotion bid fully charged. The Londoners all over the place in the opening exchanges, with a capitulation seemingly on the cards, but they steadied the ship and then embarked on trying to achieve an unlikely comeback. First, a shack attack. Shaqe Ford gave them a glimmer of hope. which became much more than that. Ford and Theo Archibald reversing roles to make it 3-2. Archibald from an assist to a first goal since August. So Bolton with 3 in the first half. In additional minutes, Orient tried to achieve the symmetry of 3 of their own in the second. But Ford missed out this time. Splendid spirit from the visitors nonetheless. 2 very different halves of football.
There's always something special about playing against your old club, even more so if you score against them. So how Blackpool's Oliver Norburn must have enjoyed this against Bristol Rovers. But the joy was short-lived. Just 4 minutes later, Rovers were level. John Marquis from slightly closer range. Karamoko Dembele's free kick was inches away from restoring Blackpool's advantage just before half-time, but it was 1-1 at the break. But not for long after. A minute into the second half, Blackpool got their second. This time Dembele picked out Jake Beasley. A coolly taken finish for his 4th league goal of the season. Blackpool's leading scorer, Jordan Rhodes, had been a slight doubt for this one. He played the full 90 and got his customary goal too, 8 minutes from time. 6 in his last 6 league matches, 15 for the season. Not a lot has gone right for Burton Albion recently. Currently without a manager, they'd lost their last 5 in the league and they were behind at Charlton on 19 minutes. Lloyd Jones with his first Charlton goal. A shame he couldn't celebrate it, though he was OK to continue. But in a game of few chances, it was still 1-0 going into stoppage time. And when Joe Powell's free kick led to hesitance in the Charlton defence, Ryan Sweeney just about stayed onside to calmly tuck away the equaliser and give the travelling fans some late Christmas cheer.
Wycombe aiming to build on their last-ditch draw at Derby. They knew they could go above their opponents with a first league win in 10 attempts. And Kieran Sadlier was a prominent figure as they tried to achieve it. That one flying over the bar. Let's fast forward to the second half, and it looked as though the poor home form of Matt Bloomfield's Chairboys was about to change, as Sadlier got that volley absolutely right. His first EFL goal for the club. Port Vale had won their last 2 in the division, but had a poor recent record here. They didn't buckle in Buckinghamshire this time around. The Valiants lived up to their nickname and kept plugging away. Ben Garrity's late header looked to be over the line. James Wilson made sure. The Carabao Cup quarter-finalists with league joy to deny Wycombe a much-needed win.
Scrappy was probably the best way to describe the opening exchanges between Reading and Wigan, but just after the half-hour, a moment of standout quality from Femi Aziz. His manager had asked him to work on his end product. He's coming on well. He tried again in the second half, but although this one was blocked, Amadou Mbenge was able to pick out Sam Smith, who made it 2-0. Back-to-back defeats for Wigan, encouraging signs for Reading.
21st hosted 24th, a proper relegation scrap. This goalkeeping worthy of the lower reaches. Oh, holy fright. Thomas with a gift for George Lloyd. Liam Sercombe profited. Cirque's assert for bottom club Cheltenham. Set to go level on points with their guests, though away keeper Luke Southwood was similarly hospitable, but not punished, as Sean Maguire's effort was blocked by Tom Bradbury. Darryl Clark is giving the Robins a fighting chance of staying up.
Decent ball whipped in, the flick on is there as well. Where's it going to fall? Man on the edge, fired in. One of the shouts for a penalty here, and it's been given. It's going to be Ghassan Hadmi. Scores from the spots, tucks it away. Recycled again by the hosts, and now they're breaking forward in numbers. Thomas splaying it out to the right. This might be the chance, off the line. Kachunga won't miss from there. Well, the hard work was done by Lancaster, but Elias Kachunga crowns off the move. Sweetly hits. Stevens was there, and the follow-up not clinical enough. Neil Harris's early reign continues with another positive result
Derby deliver, hooked away initially, they can't stop that though. Crashed in by Harahan. Well, that challenge was pretty late. The referee takes a long look, and eventually we get the whistle. It will be a penalty. Mandrieu from the spots, makes no mistake, and right on half-time, Lincoln are level. Mendesland quickly across, takes it short, gets it back. Good ball with the outside of the boot, gets the flick on as well, and he's crossed the line. It's the substitute, Kane Wilson. Let's turn Wilson, plays the pass in behind, and Derby surely wrap up all 3 points as Collins drives into the bottom corner to make it 3.
Portsmouth lead at the top is cut to 5 points. Bolton and Derby both won to keep pressure on Pompey and Peterborough in the automatic promotion places. Barnsley and Blackpool both picked up wins but remained just outside the playoff spots. Cheltenham stayed bottom but are now within 3 points of safety after their 4th win. Carlisle were the only side in the relegation zone to lose after Reading's victory and Fleetwood's draw. Exeter are now only a point clear of the bottom 4 after their winless run stretched to 13 games. League 2 is inching closer as we check out playoff chasers Morecambe, up against in-form MK Dons, with both trying to break into the top 7. Six League 2 games were played today, and we'll begin with Wrexham, in the hunt for promotion and taking on Newport County.
More than 12,000 packed in for this Welsh derby, the biggest attendance since 2007 at this famous old ground. Newport County's Seb Palmer-Hulden forced a good save from Arthur Okonkwo midway through the first half. It took the home side until 20 minutes into the second half to register a shot on target. The trademark Ben Tozer throw fell to James Jones, who gave Wrexham Derby Day advantage. Tozer also set up the second 3 minutes from time, Elliot Lee scoring for the 3rd league match in a row. Bragging rights secured, Wrexham head to Swindon on Boxing Day. The two sides drew 5-5 earlier this season.
Sutton United beginning life without Matt Gray. The boss who took them into the EFL fired in midweek. Jason Goodliff is in interim charge and saw his side go behind in the 25th minute. 37-year-old Stephen Quinn with his first of the season after an injury layoff. Mansfield have only lost once all season and were never really threatened in this one. Just a couple of minutes after the opener, Davis Keillor-Dunn hit the woodwork as the Stags looked to make it 2. Sutton, starting the weekend 6 points from safety, played themselves into trouble in the second half. Jordan Bowery winning possession back, George Maris feeding it through, Lucas Akins smashing it home. One defeat in an impressive 21 league matches now for Nigel Clough's side.
MK Dons captain Dean Lewington was making an EFL record equalling 770th appearance for a single club in this one. His side started well when the in-form Max Dean pounced to make it 8 goals in his last 10 for the Dons. Morecambe responded after the break, Lewington with his hand in the air claiming he'd spotted something in the build-up to this one. Referee not interested, and J.J. McKiernan's header stood. Mike Williamson's side retook the lead on 69 minutes. Joe Tomlinson firing in from distance as Lewington looked to mark the record equalling appearance with a win. The 3 points were guaranteed deep into time added on. Max Dean on the score sheet again. He wasn't even born when Lewington made his debut for this club 20 years ago. On Boxing Day, it will be appearance number 771 and a new record if he plays against Colchester.
Accrington boss John Coleman says he's seen a marked improvement in his side's style in recent weeks, and despite a long injury list, they took the lead early on in this one. 9 minutes played when Tommy Lee was able to slide in to put the home side ahead. But Walsall are in good form themselves, having won 3 in a row coming into the contest, and deep in first half stoppage time, they were presented with a chance to level. Joe Gubbins found Donovan Daniels in the box. Freddie Draper hadn't scored since netting a hat-trick in October. He made no mistake here to ensure it was level at the break.
Stanley started the weekend 1 point outside the playoff places, but they injected some momentum into their promotion push by securing all 3 points in this one. The Saddlers couldn't successfully clear a corner. Joe Pritchard with the final touch as Accrington pick up their first win in 5 matches.
After 3 home wins on the spin, Prenton Park was becoming something of a fortress for Tranmere. Standing in the way of win number 4 was Swindon Town, who had something of the wounded beast about them. Dan Kemp's opener on 22 minutes suggested they might bounce back from 2 heavy defeats. Michael Flynn's side had chipped 3 against Barrow and 4 at Wimbledon. Despite their good start in this one, they conceded a soft equaliser. Saidu Khan slipped under pressure. Connor Jennings tried his luck from distance. It had too much for Luke McGee to gather in, and when the ball fell to Kieran Morris, he smashed in the equaliser. The earlier scare averted, normal service was resumed as Rovers turned this match around on 72 minutes. Tom Davis with his first of the season to make it 4 from 4. They'll look to extend that run to 5 on New Year's Day with the visit of Notts County.
Football is a team sport. It rarely matters who scores, especially if you win. Just ask Harrogate. They took the lead when Matty Folds appeared to score directly from a corner. Only Liam Gibson knows if he got a touch on the way through. With just 1 win in 6 in all competitions, they knew they needed a second. Matty Daly went looking for it. His shot may have taken a nick off Abraham Oda. Who claims it? To be discussed. It was certainly Daly who got the plaudits. Grimsby were unbeaten in the league under new boss David Artell. In stoppage time, they halved the deficit. The visitors failed to clear a corner, and eventually Kieran Green found the back of the net. No debate about who scored that one. Too little, too late, though. Maximum points heading back to Yorkshire.
To Friday's action in League 2 when we return, including Troy Deeney's first game in management at Forest Green. Friday night was a busy one in League 2. We'll start at Gresty Road as title chasers Barrow went to Crewe Alexandra on a 6-match winning streak.
Take it, Wootton. Oh, he's found the net. One swipe of the boots. The 2 Kyles combining. Oh, what a way to give away possession. And can Stockport make Notts County pay? Well, that's got to be a penalty. And it is. No hesitation from the referee. Paddy Madden. Crawley slots it home to double the advantage for Stockport County. Gosling looking for a way forward. McGoldrick. Flipping off bodies left, right and centre. McGoldrick, well, he's got one back. David McGoldrick fighting his way through the barricades.
Worrell. Hangs the crossing with his left foot and slightly misjudged and eludes everybody, and it's turned in by Ben Whitfield. Works it into the channel. It's patient. It's Newey's cross. And appeals for a penalty. It's given. An opportunity for Gerard Garner, who beats the goalkeeper. Crewe supporters doing all they can to raise their players as the corner is played in. It's headed in, and they're back in the game. Throw-in taken quickly, helped into the box by Gotts, stooping header. And the 2-goal advantage is restored.
Crawley may have started the weekend down in 13th place, but they were only 2 points outside the playoffs, such is the compact nature of things at the top of League 2. One of those sides above them in the chasing pack is AFC Wimbledon, who struck first. Josh Davison's header somehow squirming through the grasp of Luca Ashby-Hammond. Johnny Jackson's side scored 5 in their last outing when beating Portsmouth in the EFL Trophy, and they doubled their advantage in this one after just 18 minutes. Ali Al-Hamadi deciding to go alone, a decision that paid off. 11 in 10 now for him in all competitions. The Dons went in search of a third goal that could have put the result beyond doubt. Al Hamadi had the ball in the net a minute before half-time. But the referee ruled that Davison had fouled goalkeeper Ashby Hammond in the process. The goal wasn't to count. Jackson clearly thought it should. His protestations on the touchline earning him a red card. He'd have to watch the remainder of this one from the stands. And he won't have liked what he saw in the 65th minute. Joe Lewis was already on a yellow card when this mistimed challenge saw him booked for a second time. The visitors were now without their manager in the dugout and down to 10 players on the field. A lifeline perhaps for Crawley. And with 7 minutes to go, the home side were able to set up a grandstand finish. Full credit to Clyde Lolos for the assist, Will Wright with the finish. But the 10 men were able to hold on, 5 unbeaten now for AFC Wimbledon.
David Horseman's departure from Forest Green meant yet another new head coach for the struggling Rovers. Troy Deeney, who was already at the club as player-coach, now in charge. How he might have wished to have been on the pitch and afforded the same room as Callum Morton. The forward on loan from Salford shot too close to Jake Turner. Owner Dale Vince has already said Deeney can be active in the January window. A goal scorer the priority. Charlie McCann wasted another opportunity. Deeney secured a point thanks to Luke Daniels' save from Timothy Dieng's header, but there's still lots of work to do for the relegation-threatened side.
Doncaster needed a strong start here after going down 5-0 at home to Morecambe last time out, and it was a daunting task against an in-form Bradford. But just 7 minutes into this one, the home side were gifted the opener. Joe Ironside still had work to do. This finish his 9th league goal of the season. Graham Alexander is still settling into life at Valley Parade, but he's made an immediate impact. The Bantams were coming into it on the back of 5 consecutive wins in all competitions. Andy Cook can't stop scoring. This header meaning he'd now scored in 4 straight games. When Cook isn't scoring goals, he's creating them. 2 minutes before half-time, he appeared to be outnumbered in midfield. One decent turn later, and he was able to feed through to Tyler Smith, who's not exactly goal-shy himself. This emphatic finish, his 5th goal in 6 matches. Having completed the comeback before the break, Bradford were able to seal the deal in the second half. In the 85th minute, Cook was there again to finish off the move. He's into double figures for the season already. Bradford with 6 wins in a row in all competitions. Their festive push for the playoffs very much alive.
Colchester United had lost 5 on the spin in League and Cup, but faced a Salford side without a win in 7 in all comps, and the hosts took the lead in fitting fashion for a match between 2 sides bang out of form. Joe Taylor with the scrappiest of openers. It didn't get much easier on the eye, but the U's doubled their lead a minute from time. Ethan Ingram and Adrian Mariappa completely out of sync. John Akinde and Che Cooper took full advantage as they combined. Cooper finished off the move, and that losing run was seemingly well and truly over. But the Salford response was immediate, straight from the restart, Route 1 stuff, and Conor McElhaney pulled one back for the Ammies. His first league goal since August, a vicious shot that summed up his frustration at the rotten run of form Salford are on. Too little, too late. Colchester put some daylight between themselves and the relegation zone.
There was little change at the summit, with the top 4 all winning, meaning Stockport will be 6 points clear at Christmas. In fact, there was no movement in the top 7. Wins for Accrington, MK Dons and Bradford leave them just outside the playoff spots. After managerial changes for both sides in the relegation zone, there were differing fortunes. Sutton slipped to their 14th defeat, whilst Forest Green drew. However, Colchester's victory means Troy Deeney's side are 7 points from safety. As we know, Christmas is a very busy time in the football calendar. However, our clubs are still finding time to spread some festive cheer in their communities. Aaron Paul joined David Wagner and his Norwich City players as they made a special visit to a local hospital.
Hello everybody, happy Christmas. This week we are in Norwich, spreading a bit of festive cheer amongst the children's ward at the County of Norfolk's biggest hospital. We've got with us some Norwich City first team stars. That's right, the Canaries are in town. We've got a sleigh full of gifts. Who needs Santa? Come on, let's go dish them out.
It's amazing as players to be able to, help out and, put smiles on kids' faces in, what is really tough time for families, having children in hospital and stuff. It's awful, really, and no one wants to be in here around Christmas time, but especially not children. So, for us to come and hand a few presents out and have a chat, it's nice to be able to put a few smiles on faces for a little bit.
To be totally honest, I think this is at least what we can all together do in a period like the Christmas period. I think we all together know we are all together on the sunny side of the life, and if there's a chance to visit the children here in the hospital, to give them maybe a very small smile on their face, we know how important it is. We know that we are part of the community, and we are always happy if we can pay back.
You sometimes forget when you're on the pitch or going training the impact that you can have on the community and especially children that love watching players and watching the game. So, it really puts things into perspective. It's nice when you can put smiles on kids' faces and give a little bit back.
And, hopefully all of them go on the road to recovery and get better. But, that's all we can do. We can't do a great deal apart from try and put smiles on faces and bring a little bit of Christmas spirit around the hospital.
Good luck with everything, yeah? You take care, look after you. I look forward to seeing you back there in football. Yeah. All right, bro. See you, man.
From all of us here, the Norwich City Football Club, have a Merry Christmas.
The festive fixtures come thick and fast. We'll be back on Boxing Day at the later time of 11:15 p.m, but in the usual place of ITV4. So that's your lot from here at the Stadium of Light. No new manager bounce for Michael Beale at Sunderland. Instead, Coventry City will have a very Merry Christmas. 3 goals and 3 points. We'll see you on Boxing Day. Take care.